Hello, everyone, and welcome. No green screen, but hello, everyone. Almost sounds like Star Wars. How dare them? Hello! Hopefully you can hear me over all this. But, let's get back over here. Finally got some of the stuff worked out a little bit. We are going to be playing Star Trek Resurgence. Never played it before, but I figured, why not give it a chance. Hopefully everything's coming through okay. I've done a lot of craziness today with cleaning and reorganizing wires and whatever. But it's up and running now, so finally got that going. All right, well, let's get over to the game here. I'll get the green screen up eventually. It wasn't working out right. Hey, I just got some reward points apparently. Now, I don't know anything other than we saw some kind of thing back at the Game Awards about this a while back, and it's been shelved for a while, so I have no clue what to expect from this. So let's see. Okay. So we'll just begin. I mean, it may be good, it may not be. We don't know. We have no clue until we play it. Hope everybody's doing good and enjoyed last night's stream.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them.
It looks good.
Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good.
Change is good?
Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
That's a rocky start. Hey, Chronogard, good to see you in there. You played this already? I'm sure you have. Oh. It's my turn already? Alright. Gotta learn the controls now.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying.
We sounding okay on your
These
end?
little shuttles? Are the
And yet you
worst.
joined Starfleet. We're gonna do that.
You don't like flying.
And they're timed.
And yet, you joined Starfleet.
There's a reason I'm not a pilot.
You should try it sometime.
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm
Good.
on my way to my first assignment.
Good.
When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
I did a lot today, so...
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if If she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
We got a Miranda class starship? Or are we getting the Excelsior class? I want the Excelsior class. Don't know how loud it's going to get, trying to make sure that it's not overly loud. Check in at security. Well, I know that.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
Wow. That's cool. That's pretty cool.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history
Very
of the
impressive.
Academy.
Really? That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it.
I
and
haven't
it
seen a
paid
Star
off.
Trek game in God knows when. Like, that wasn't Star Trek Online or a flying simulator.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds. Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait,
Right.
you're Jara Rydek? You
Yes, I am.
absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. you finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just
say
came off the
pleasure
shuttle
is
and was
mine, not
glad
a
to be
dick.
on solid ground.
The pleasure is mine. Ensign,
Paul Calloway.
good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
The Resolute. Find Commander. Okay. Can I interact with any of this stuff? No. Well, that's how you
Good
run.
day, Commander.
That was a weird thing. What just happened? Okay. A little glitchy there, guys. I don't know what that's all about. All it was doing was running, and now the camera.
If I remember my
Wow.
briefing, Commander Ermot is a Bolian.
That's weird.
So I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
A little glitchy, huh?
You're going to the Resolute too?
Yeah,
A little tearing too.
not the
I
ship I was
see.
hoping for.
And I'm on
Why's that?
console.
Well, you haven't heard? Some kind of accident. Their warp core overloaded.
Oh, whoa.
Oh Jesus.
That's a big deal.
They spent 6 months fixing it up.
Was it the captain's fault?
That's the rumor.
It's a little weird. That's probably him. Let's see here. What is this?
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
Good to know. Did you have a little bit of a glitch? As bad as that? Yeah.
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
Alright, I guess I'm going down into the elevator. Let me talk to this person real quick, can I?
Excuse me, have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ah!
Ah,
I didn't
there
even
he
see
is.
his blue
Thank
head
you.
sitting
Happy
back
to help,
there.
Commander.
Yeah, there's definitely some tearing,
Excuse me.
weird little little tearing, weird little glitches with the camera. I don't know about this whole third-person thing, but we're gonna give it a go.
Welcome to the edge of the
Cutscene.
galaxy, Commander Ryder. I'm Commander Jan Ermot, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was perfectly fine. No trouble at all.
I'm glad to hear it. We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship.
Share me the flattery, no.
To
You
our
have high
research vessel.
expectations.
I'll do my best to live up to expectations.
I'm sure you'll do just fine. And if I can help in any way, just let me know.
Yep. We're getting a,
The USS Resolute.
at least we didn't get an overt.
She may not look
They're
like much
terrible.
compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
Oh boy.
It was an accident?
Equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame.
Right.
It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
Did you lose anyone close to you?
Too many. And to that I'll just say, you have big shoes to fill. Listen, I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time. And I'm glad you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first.
Thanks for the heads up.
Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region.
Oh. Okay. My crew. So it's him and him so far. Alright. Yeah, I found that out. Crouching, yeah, okay, usual controls. I mean, it looks alright right now. We can get motion blur off because that is driving me nuts. Alright, and we'll check camera sensitivity. Put that in the middle. Alright, I think that'll do. Alright, let's see what else we got. Is that it? Settings? Oh. Okay, so usual stuff there. Wait. Alright, duck and cover, yeah. Okay. Okay. So basically everything looks about the same as it would any other game that I've played. X, equip holster tricorder. Alright. So I can sit here and do this all night, but let me... I mean, if it's always here, so... Alright, Y, X. Okay, aim would be left triggered aim. Alright. Ooh. Right trigger to fly forward, left trigger to fly backwards. Like, we're gonna fly shuttlecrafts now? Oh my. Clear the debris, select the waypoint. Okay. Okay. Good to know.
I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Seems pretty
Will
straightforward.
we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Stuck. I got just the thing.
Yeah, I see that. At this point, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be grabbing here. Plasma torch? Yeah, definitely. Let's just say fuck it and go with a plasma torch, because why not? Oh, Jesus. Okay. What is this? Did I not listen? Did I not listen? I didn't listen. Ah, okay. Okay, alright, so you gotta take it into the middle. I thought you had to, like, bring it over. Yeah, I know now. Thought you had to bring it over to the, I get it now. So you kind of do have to bring it over, but then go into the middle. Okay. It's a weird, control mechanism. Very weird controls.
And that is that.
We have power.
I thought the thing was totally fried. Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Millie.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Okay. So now I'm a different person? Cool. Ooh. Yeah, sensitivity needs to be fixed too. That's way too fast. Wow. So we'll wait a second and we'll fix the camera settings because my God, that's fast.
The new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
Orders are orders, Nilly. You know what they say? There are no small missions. Every expedition has a purpose.
Even if we don't know what it is yet. Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Of course.
Petty Officers Ed Solar.
It's a Vulcan.
Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edzelar on repeated occasions.
No use arguing
Apologies
with
for
him.
the delay, Commander.
I do not want your apologies. Simply see to it that it does not happen again.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull.
What?
I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions
Yeah, you
and
never
ionic
argue with a
interference we
Vulcan,
are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems
We're
have been
going out on the
affected by the
hull.
wide band of emissive
Holy
activity.
crap.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
This guy is too eager.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job. Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes, Commander
Roger that.
Chovak. All hands on deck.
We're close. There we go.
Oh, what's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule.
It all comes down to us, Nilly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They may not be the same crew we started out with. But they're still Starfleet. They'll know what to do when the time comes.
I prefer the scientific method. Evidence over assumptions. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Wouldn't take long to reverse that transfer and get you right back on the Adirondack.
I didn't know you had that kind of authority.
Oh, Carter's going places. You'd be surprised what he can do.
Still, I am glad to be here. He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick
Oh, this is
little
gonna be
spacewalk.
crazy.
Here, let me help you.
They should make this VR.
Thanks.
That way you
So
can go
what's
out
the
and do
word?
everything.
Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
This is weird. Okay, so they're sending us out here because they have nothing better for us to do, apparently. You can go out. I'm checking something. Okay, first things first. Wow, why did the camera sensitivity go so damn high? Let's do it right about there for now. Ooh, let's do aim sensitivity a little low too, because who knows. Oh boy. We on the hull.
Have you never gets old.
Let's go.
I mean, it looks alright. Now that I got the motion blur off, that looks a lot better. And the tearing's kind of not as bad so far from what I can see. Just got to mess with the controls, I guess, a bit. It's definitely got weird mechanics, though. Now we're back here. Aw, they didn't let me get on the
should
hole.
be here
What the hell?
momentarily.
I wanted to play out in space.
You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
I was going to say, can I have control again? There we go. I still don't like the third person view.
Just a sip of something.
Yeah, let's do a Retigino.
Decisions.
It's Bajoran.
Ractigino.
It's good. From what I've heard, they actually have a Retigino coffee that you can get now. It's a special
That
blend.
sure has a kick.
And it comes with a did I say Bajoran? I'm not Klingon. Comes with a Klingon.
Last time I saw
mug.
you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious
Stan Lee's in this
possible.
game? What the fuck?
And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. The only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare.
You can spare me the pomp and circumstance. There's plenty of work to be done without all that.
You always had a work ethic like nothing I'd ever seen. That's just what this ship needs at the moment. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
You mean the accident?
I assume you mean the accident.
That's right. The tragic accident, really. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there.
So basically, either
in our
transwarp
grasp.
drive type thing or slipstream
Oh,
type
so
thing.
horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard in a a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle.
Okay. That makes more
It
sense.
was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
You're being too hard on yourself. It wasn't your fault.
It's not a question of blame. It's about responsibility. No matter what the circumstances.
So if anyone
In
watching
my
this
defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole
that knows
ordeal
anything
if my
about Star
senior
Trek,
staff had been willing to trust me.
they tried to do
There was a
transwarp
lot of
drive. It
pushback
was
from
way
my
too
former
dangerous.
XO.
They stopped that.
I
Then they
think that
apparently
cost
they
me his confidence.
brought it back out and made
I
it
don't want you
safer.
to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account.
And then the
Once
slipstream
we
drive,
decide on a course of action,
they made
I
that
need
too
everyone
dangerous. They got
fully
rid of
commit
that.
to the mission.
But then apparently they brought it back. This sounds
Anything
like the
short of
same
that
kind of thing.
just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
This is your ship, and you are the captain. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever you say goes.
That's the kind of support I'm looking for. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to
Transwarp
restore
was
the crew's
pre-Voyager,
I understand.
and Slipstream was actually invented by Voyager.
Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. Two previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hatari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details at the rendezvous.
But are we prepared to embark on the mission?
As much as I'd like to think that's true, I have my doubts. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise.
Oh, I already see where this is going.
It happens.
Thank you.
Come.
Classic Star
Let me
Trek.
introduce you to the crew.
Eventually he's gonna get killed in a mission and I gotta take over the ship. More than likely. Oh, that's so much better. It's a little slow, but it's better than it was. I'll have to take it up just a tiny bit, but that's so much better. We're on the bridge. Interesting design.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer.
Get in line, bitches. Commander on the bridge.
Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman.
Handar.
One of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in
Bajoran.
humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time. and I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
That's very kind of you to say. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I
I'm
have
gonna
to
make
admit,
this.
one of the
I'm gonna
reasons
make
I've
this
followed
bitch
your career
freaking
is because you're
Catherine
Kodiak,
Janeway.
because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done.
I don't know what to say. That's incredibly flattering, thank you.
I hope someday I can follow in your footsteps.
No.
I'm sure you will.
She's got a crush on the commander.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont.
I have him.
Please do everything you can to make Commander
That's not a
Rydek feel at
barber.
home here. I'll be on the starbase. Have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway.
So?
If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
It is definitely most acceptable. Oh, you bet your sweet Bippy I'm gonna sit in the captain's chair. Ah.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed
We're gonna
by
get
the
ready to
storm.
switch.
We just need your go-ahead.
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field, now.
Entering maintenance mode.
I mean, we're right outside the starbase, so it should be alright.
Condition blue.
Yep. Now we're outside.
The storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great.
Alright, let me just up the control just a little bit. Sorry guys, I gotta make sure it's exactly where I want it.
Let's get to
Especially
that emitter.
since we're probably getting ready to go into some shit here real soon. If I know Star Trek.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
Now, what are you complaining about? We got the best seat in the house out here. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere, see new worlds, look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be.
Duty and honor, baby.
Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the SIF emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Okay, let's get these weird controls underway here.
Beginning recalibration. Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
Didn't even go in the middle.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive. Yes, I am the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This is a research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all.
This guy needs to be reprimanded. Give me
as
the
an example,
options.
we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then?
I mean, he does have a point, but...
You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario.
Yeah,
but not outside the realm of possibility.
That's very kind of you to be concerned about my well-being. But you don't need to trouble yourself on my account. I'll be fine.
Well, I wouldn't say I was concerned, just curious, that's all. Listen,
he's the
can I
first
be
to go.
blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends.
Mr. Westbrook, if you have some kind of problem with me, and you just met me so it has nothing to do with me, you're gonna have to figure out how to get over it. Because I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. I'll stick to science. That is what this ship is for.
Very well.
Good. Asshole.
Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion
give me
storm
shit.
we're flying into. It's unusual.
Look at the
Unlike
tearing.
anything
You
I've
see
ever
the,
seen.
the
At the
graphical
moment,
error
I can't
shit?
tell you if the Resolute will shrug
That
it
is
off
weird.
or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
You better get your people back in.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
Yeah.
On screen.
Get them in. Oh shit.
Tracing its trajectory. Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves.
Your people?
And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wide-band burst of ionic energy. Like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities.
Red
all
alert,
over
get
the...
your people
Red
in.
alert.
Aye.
Transport those fuckers inside.
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't
Does everybody
take a
like
direct hit.
completely forgot about them?
1 minute. Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
I'm not even worried about the impact.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave.
Oh my god.
You have to believe
You have
me.
people in the fucking
We
hall.
only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
Fucking do
That's
the
right.
deflectors.
Which is
It's
why
not going
we
to
need
help.
Send power to our shields.
Commander Westbrook, use the deflector dish.
Already working on it. Optimal timing displayed. It's going to be tight.
Good. Send the pulse on my command. Now.
That was not timed right.
It was too early.
That was not timed right. I hit the wrong damn button. Ah.
Commander Westbrook.
Try that again,
Use the
shall we?
deflector dish.
Already working on it. Optimal timing displayed.
Stupid
It's
ass
going to be
controls.
tight.
Good. Send the pulse on my command.
Now.
Now.
We got it.
This is it!
All hands, brace for impact.
What about your people? They're dead.
Whoa!
Or not. Maybe the shield kind of protects them.
You don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
Blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Yeah. Oof. Okay.
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Hitting the wrong one. There we go. These controls are weird. Alright, so you gotta do a docking clamp here. And then a docking clamp here. Hello?
Failsafe override
Controls
engaged.
are not very
Are you sure?
good
I am
either.
registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals
Very,
so they don't
very,
interfere with each
laggy.
other.
Alright, well. Come on, just put them over there.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
Okay.
So we gotta climb up the pylon.
Gamer of Chaos, hello, I see you in there.
Run up, but
How are you,
you
sir?
know.
Oh shit. All this is just target practice, basically. Okay. Oh, we're really close to one. I don't think they're gonna hurt us though. Keep walking, keep walking.
We're almost to the regulator.
Ah, I didn't see that next to me.
Are you alright?
Yeah. Just snuck up on me.
That damaged your suit. Energy dampening is down to 60%.
Why weren't you watching behind me, lady? It says the lock target, but it's not locking target. Very
We're at
weird.
the regulator. Opening the access panel.
And now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle, we have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must
Yeah,
work
just
efficiently.
open the panel. Oh my god. Okay.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral. EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance.
Close enough.
Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chobot can...
What the hell? How are we? Why are we? Docking clamp just fucked up. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Get down! Diaz to bridge. We just lost the docking clamp. We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working.
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Yes.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
We have crew outside and are looking for the
We have
safest
people
way to...
on this station. If that mooring arm breaks, we could lose dozens of crew.
Commander,
Oh my god.
hear me out.
Bring him in.
Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Jara?
All due respect, sir, it's a more complex situation than when you
Jara,
disembarked.
I need you to do the right thing. We can't have this go sideways before we even leave for the mission.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
Fuck.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
What is the holdup?
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
That's the best thing to do. I'm not gonna.
Captain
I
Jara
mean, it's
Ryder.
probably
Be
gonna kill him
advised,
either
we're
way.
going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining docking clamp. Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
Better hurry up.
Understood.
8.
Oh Jesus Christ!
7,
Hurry up.
6, 5.
Why are you letting me be the
4,
one?
3, 2, 1. Mark.
Woo!
Grab my hand.
Yeah, that was super close. These controls are fucking stupid.
I got you.
Like, they are the weirdest controls I've ever seen.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah? Yeah, come on. I'm doing it. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my god. The warp core, sir. The warp core. Oh my god. Get it in there. Get it. Oh my god, there's resistance. There we go. Why didn't we think of this in the first place? That's not good.
Look out!
Oh shit.
I got you. Petty Officer Etzelar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. you are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander...
Can't we just transport
the
them?
way we came is the nearest airlock.
I guess
There's
not
an
because of the
auxiliary
radiation.
hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edsolar there to access the interior.
Yeah, they're kind of weird.
Roger that. Go in there now.
What? This ought to be fun. See how many times I fail this mission.
I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
What are you waiting on? Open the damn thing. Get inside.
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. There's no time to fight me on this. Get in there.
You better be right behind me.
Like, it's not that hard, just get in. Fuck that thing, get down there. Jesus. Did she die?
We're in.
Okay, so that had me on my,
They're
yeah,
safe.
I know,
Bringing the
I
Sith
know.
fully online.
I said the ion storm, the
Do it.
radiation can't do transporter. But like, damn, that had me on the edge. That was kind of cool. I wish the controls were a little better, but that was kind of cool. Using the bottle caps.
Carter!
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, it was all
But
good.
Edsolar-
Just really wish the
Here,
controls
let me
were
help you.
not weird. Especially when you've never used those kind of controls on a game before. Not really. I've never seen anything like this before. And we're using joystick. We're using the actual
Medical. We've
triggers
got
for
one
all that
wounded at my
stuff. It's
location.
very odd.
Millie.
Oh, man.
Hmm.
We'll see you at sickbay.
We didn't lose anybody, which is good. Yeah, I don't know.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermont?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Don't get yelled at. Because I didn't follow direct order. Maybe. I hope not. I hope he's not like that. Oh. Maybe he is.
You disobeyed my orders. Well?
Yeah, it was the right decision. Go fuck yourself.
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the
You
information I had.
disobeyed my orders!
Oh, well.
And not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship? From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
No, I'm holding my ground.
Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order. But you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
Good girl.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit.
That motherfucker should have been
guess
paying
we all are.
attention instead of talking to him.
And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So, let's just boil it down to you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
Thank you for understanding, sir. I'm sure no one knows the burden of command as well as you do.
I'm sure you will, someday. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermont, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
I knew we were going to get a dressing down, but we finished our first mission, guys. Ain't backing down from him. I'm a Starfleet captain, damn it.
All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Clear all moorings. 1/4 impulse power.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
Thrusters at station keeping when that's coming back. So far, so good. Just gotta get used to these damn controls. Don't you warp that thing that close.
That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Yeah, a little too close.
You know what? You take this one.
You got me to do it? You got it.
Me?
Say it. Give it to me. Engage.
Engage.
Nice.
Simple, but effective.
Oh my god. I think the
Whoa. Careful.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look fine.
Great. I think the thing went back to normal.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Jesus.
Commander, help me get her inside.
Okay. That's a little crazy. I see what
Well,
the science
that
officer
was
was
quite a
talking
scare.
about now.
A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on her, but she'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your duridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer.
Round Duval.
To be honest, I've never met a Cobliad before. You're...
rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the duridium
Is that
you need
purple
to
fluid
survive.
going into her?
Yet you joined Starfleet and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming.
Looks like purple fluid.
Maybe even a burden at times.
It can be difficult.
I don't like the attention it brings. Being treated differently than everyone else.
But you are different. That's not something you can change.
True. But sometimes it makes it even more difficult than it already is.
And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake.
Oh.
My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew
Then
are
why
at
didn't
stake.
she just put him on medical leave?
What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. A major innovation. Something he can put his name on.
I think after what happened, Captain Solano's learned his lesson. And whatever ambition he once had is on hold for a while.
He may say that, but we'll see what happens. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the
She
bridge.
shouldn't be saying that in front of the commander.
Guts to defy a direct order.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It does look
It's
like
a small
it.
ship. And
That what
everyone's
uranium-
curious about
I don't
minerals,
know. I think it might be purple.
Fortunately, your cell structure is almost completely stabilized.
I'm trying
And
to
I'll spare
remember.
us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Then why didn't she have like an injector?
Understood.
And my work here is done.
Like, wouldn't you think that they would give you an injection to keep with you, kind of like an EpiPen? When you start feeling like that, you would be like, pop, and you're good?
Sorry, I didn't mean to be lurking outside of sickbay.
Yeah, you were.
I didn't want to intrude, so it felt
Weirdo.
more appropriate to wait out here. We were all worried about you. Or I should say I was. I wasn't sure what was happening at first. But then I realized it was your condition.
I don't want anyone to worry about me. I'm gonna be just fine. This is part of who I am, but I've never let it define me.
I get that now. And I promise
mean,
I'll
that's
try not to
true,
let
too.
being such a jerk define me either. You trusted my intuition
He's
earlier.
kind of
with the deflector
apologizing.
pulse. I felt I should thank you for that.
Well, thank you for coming. Even though you didn't have to.
I wanted to.
That's better. Oh god, are we gonna pilot a shuttle?
Complete the diagnostic sequence, and this shuttle will be
I'm
cleared
actually
for
kind of
service.
excited to pilot
Yes,
a
sir.
shuttle.
Storm in the Hotari region will interfere with our
But I have a
transporters.
feeling all the controls are gonna be like
we need
this.
all available shuttlecraft in working order.
I just gotta get used to it. I don't like it.
Excuse me, Commander Sherlock.
Petty Officer Maris, I will leave you to your work.
Yep, he's a Vulcan, alright.
I stopped by sickbay and saw Millie. I figured you'd want to know.
Did the doc get her fixed up?
She's stable. There's something about the storm's radiation that's making it hard to heal the energy runs.
That doesn't sound good.
She's toughing it out. Dr. Duval said she'll be back on duty soon, though.
Come on. I have to run the final
All the
diagnostic.
background noise, jeez.
I can't stay long. I've got a long to-do list before we get to Hotari, and things are piling on faster than I can check them off. We're making all our last-minute checks in security, too.
Well, nothing's ever 100%, but we'll be good to go.
And if you wait until you are ready, it's probably too late. Which is why I didn't want to wait for just the right time. I had a chance to think about this while I was away. Then you and Millie almost got killed out on the hall. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you. Instead of tiptoeing around it.
Wait, are you angry at me or something?
Oh, no, not that. I'm sorry. I'm probably making too big of a deal here. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time.
Uh-oh.
But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore.
Uh-oh.
I want to see if there's more between us.
Uh-oh.
Than just being friends.
It's not what I meant to do.
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way.
I don't even know where that's at. I was gonna play it, but I don't see it.
Do you want to find out what that something is? If it's there for you...
There it is.
And it's there for me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Are you
I had
kidding
to.
me?
I had to.
I just said
Couldn't
yes.
find it, though. It was
I
doubled,
wanted to be
too.
sure I heard that right.
These are uncharted territories.
I'd call it a chemistry experiment. You know, with us.
I'm just really glad that you said
I
something.
ain't say take it slow.
I've
Shit.
seen how you operate.
Get it.
I couldn't wait for you to make the first move.
You almost died on that
I'm
hole.
glad to.
So whatever happens next is great with me.
Level 1 diagnostic complete.
I have to get back to that to-do list. They're
And
probably looking
they
for
left
me.
a whole fade line
Can't
in his
blame 'em.
hair. Terrible. Look at that. It's terrible. Hubba, hubba.
I'll be seeing you.
In all the familiar places.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Ooh.
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
Well, duh.
Shield integrity holding. We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Oh, here comes that
Commander
control thing
Rydek,
again.
find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types. I've located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute.
Can we get a
Debris
tractor
field.
beam or no?
Lost maneuvering.
We're gonna have to
Losing.
stabilize it.
I can't get it any clearer.
Can we get a
Won't
tractor?
get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam.
Yeah.
We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
What are you doing?
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
Really? Hurry up.
Come on, Diaz.
All right, here goes some crazy control work.
First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Why are you telling him? Okay, we got you upright. Bring you in slow and steady. Oh, maybe not.
We're pulling in debris.
I was gonna say. What am I supposed to be doing here? Oh, hey, we're going in again. Oh, get back up there. There we go. And now this one. Uh-oh. Too late. I was going too slow. I see it. Oh god. I was going too slow.
That's gonna take out the shuttle. Diaz, the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Ryder, plot an intercept
Yep,
course.
in between the shuttle and
On
the...
it.
Good job.
Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing
Very
53
weird,
Mark
guys.
17,
Very
200 meters
weird.
on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Oh,
Got it.
Jesus.
Whoa! Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Bring them in. All right.
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Terra firma, so to speak.
Ambassador Spock? The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
I'm speechless. Oh my god.
Well, let me be the first to say, welcome to the Resolute, Ambassador.
Thank you, Petty Officer.
It's actually his
Carter?
voice.
Carter Diaz. Sir.
Oh, it's actually his
I'm
voice.
pleased to meet you, Petty Officer Carter Diaz. It appears I have you to thank for my safe arrival. Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
Well, it wasn't all me. I got some help from upstairs.
A bombastic approach to clearing debris. We thought we were prepared for
This
our
is
arrival
amazing
in
now.
space.
I don't even care
But
about
it
the
is evident
controls
my craft
anymore.
was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
Oh.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered.
What is
It's
this
disrupted
storm?
other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes, it would seem further
You feel
investigation
the same
is
way?
called for.
Absolutely.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks.
That's
We'll get to
actually,
the
I
bottom
think
of
that's
this.
actually Leonard Nimoy.
Quite logical, Petty Officer Diaz.
Sounds like him.
Thank you.
Ambassador Spock,
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right
What's
to
the
it. We're already
timeline?
behind.
I'm confused. What's the start date? Maybe I'll look online and see what the start date is the next time we play this. Because we're going to play it again next... Oh, okay. Chrono Guard's already on it.
Spock, my senior staff.
Wow. This is insane.
Not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
Your experience comes from the past. But our present situation calls for it.
True enough.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details.
Stardate 57931.4.
2 formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed. And the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour.
Their uniforms stay otherwise.
And Hotari. Illydians are the more advanced species.
Oh.
They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illydians have shared a mining operation there.
If it's direct from
the
memory
Illydians
alpha,
provide the technological resources.
That's all I need to hear.
The Hotari have served as
the uniforms
a labor
aren't
force.
right, if that's the case.
The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illydians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
What are the Hotari defensive capabilities? Do they stand a chance to hold on to the mines now that they've taken them?
It is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would prevail against the Illydian fleet in open war. But it would have been equally unlikely to predict they could take possession of the mines until they did just that, which leaves many unanswered questions. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
The Hotari just won their independence. It's hard to believe they would give that up just for profit.
I agree. It would be exceedingly difficult to bring the Hotari to that position.
Right.
Neither the Illydians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Illydians as a source of dilithium.
That certainly changes things.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
That means the Hotari have no reason to trust us.
I wouldn't go that far, Commander.
We are completely neutral in this matter, on neither one side nor the other. Any suggestion otherwise would compromise our position. Given the Federation's involvement in the Iridium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels, and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the Ion Storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Illydian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past.
If it's keeping the two sides talking instead of shooting at each other, that actually helps us negotiate a peace.
And we'll take advantage of that as long as it works in our favor.
And when it doesn't,
All the more reason to learn as much about it as we can while we are
Get
here.
all the information you possibly
We do not
can.
want to be caught unprepared.
Right.
Should the energy anomaly continue to fluctuate. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Oh.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case.
I'm honored to be included in the negotiation process.
You're not just included, you are instrumental.
Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more
What's
luck
he got
finding
up
out
his
what really
sleeve?
happened than we will through official
He knows something
diplomatic
about
channels.
The
something.
fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
I know Spock. He's up to something, and she knows it too. She knows it too. I know Spock, and that whole little line he just said right there, there's extra in that. There's more to that. Instrumental, huh? Hey, she's back.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with. I am not the chief engineer of this
Say
shuttle.
that stuff.
The ambassador asked me to take a
You
look.
enjoy anything?
I'm ready to crack this thing open.
Good. You could learn from Mr. Diaz's focus.
I'll take notes.
I'm
Then
gonna
I
try
will
to
lead you
keep
to it.
Diaz's
Make note of any abnormalities
duty
in your report.
and honor as
Carry on.
possible in this game. I already kind of
One
know.
nice thing about Vulcans.
What are
Chobok
these
is
little
the
things
only
popping
person
up?
who didn't look at this
Is that like
and treat me like I was something to pity.
how well I'm doing with that person, or I'm not?
Doc says I should get used to it.
I'm sorry I went first.
Now that sounds like self-pity, and I'm even less interested in that.
But Nilly. Okay.
Let's just crack the shuttle open and see what we're dealing with.
Ready to go?
All set.
So
Let's
it's an
run the
approval.
diagnostic.
Okay, that's what I thought. So far, I'm doing all right. So far. Now this makes more sense. Moving it around like that makes more sense.
I know about your talk with Miranda.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation. I'm happy for you. Both of you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up. Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because things went south and you're not on speaking terms. That just isn't gonna work for me.
You really don't believe in me, huh?
It's not you. Or her. Just running the numbers, and things don't work out more often than they do. I like my friends, and I like our group. I don't want to lose that. Is that thing done?
Yeah, it's wrapping up. Let's see. The relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Huh.
What hit
Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something.
Yeah, I was going to say, what hit it? That's what we really need to... Hello? Are you going to hit it or what? Jesus.
Here.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point.
Definitely
No
not
faults,
Bethesda
just
buggy,
those
but
warnings.
buggy.
What are they?
I'm surprised because this took...
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle
this
didn't turn
game
inside out.
has been in the
Makes me
making
think the
for a
computer
long
panicked on the
time.
warp field equation.
You figured they would have smoothed all that shit out.
The warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code.
Lost?
Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this
Are
caused
we talking
the relays
about
to
a...
blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
An anomaly?
Yes, ma'am.
A rift, maybe?
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
They're all the same. Subspace variance out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked, or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other. Let's not overcomplicate this.
I'm gonna
One of
do
these
the warp
systems is
coils.
likely broken.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
I am an engineer, after all. Okay, now it's time to use that. Okay, X to... Okay, RT, okay. Deep scan. Okay, cool. There's the other one. Is that it? Yep, that was it.
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So, it must be the navigation array.
Except it's not. Checked and double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
I bet it's a.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
I love.
Hey.
I'm not here.
We're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the bridge.
Is she
I don't
jealous
want to
of her or
interrupt some
something?
important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go. The captain and the others will be here any minute now.
Come on, I'm never too busy to make time for you.
That's not true.
No. But I am glad you came by.
Now that's more accurate.
I gotta be precise with you, huh?
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Yes.
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole, steam engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
You don't want to miss your train.
All aboard!
I do have to go. Not gonna lie, I'd rather not leave right now.
Fucking kiss her and get it over with. That is the most non-emotional kiss I've ever seen in my life.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was.
Save some of that for when I get back.
You've got a deal.
Yes, I'll give you more pressing of lips
Be seeing you.
with no emotion attached. I have an approval rating again.
Etzelar de Diaz. If you could float back down to reality, we still have a ways to go. All right, where were we?
So, the warp coils in the navigation array are fine, but the nav computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it. Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Running now. Same. Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer
That
get a
warp
matching
core
result?
is loud as shit.
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
I love it.
That's a possibility. And it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
I'm telling you, man.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now.
It's gotta be
Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage
some
the warp
kind
drive.
of time
We need the
loop
conditions
or
of space
something.
around the shuttle at the moment
Like
of warp
there's got to be a
Resuming simulation.
a rupture in time or something. I guarantee you, it's Star Trek. There's always something like that.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure returned non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless... Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
I don't know if that was this or me, but thank you for the follow if it was. I don't know if that was me or not.
Warp 1.1. 1.2. 3. Warp pressure pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation.
I don't even have
the
the
warp drive has
thing up
experienced
anymore.
a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are
That was me.
undefined.
Bingo.
What-o?
The same moment when the
'Cause
shuttle
it's still
failed to warp,
doubling the
so did
audio.
ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
Ah, Vampire, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate the follow. Sorry I didn't see it in time, nor did I have my stuff up to be able to see it. But thanks for the follow. I appreciate it, man. We're finding out some crazy shit right now on this new Star Trek game that just came out. The coolest part is we have Spock with us, apparently.
Ambassador Spock, Captain Solano.
Whoa.
Welcome to Hotari. We are honored you've come. My name is Tyler Saltaris,
Big ol' lady.
Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
The honor is ours. And this is Commander Jara Rydick, first officer aboard the USS Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind and unique insight into the dynamics between the Hotari and the Illydians.
We are honored to be here as representatives of the Federation.
I'm so glad.
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation.
Oh boy, I
the
just said
reigning
that.
authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe.
I just said
Whether
that.
that's true or not remains to be seen. But, either way, we're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
And you are?
This is Galvin, and this is Citron.
Sorry about that.
The heroes of the revolt in the mines.
Little glitch. Don't worry about it.
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here.
If you'll excuse me.
Ooh, those guys look cool.
I think we're about to begin.
How are
Did hear
you?
The arrogance from that guy. I don't know what we're
Welcome
walking
to the
into
chat.
here. That guy was something.
He certainly seems full of himself. No missing that. You could probably see it from orbit.
What a piece of work.
Remember, we are here at their invitation. We must remain deferential whenever possible.
True.
Of course, but
Of course
even
Spock's
that
gonna
has
say
its
that.
limits.
I like the vampire in your name, that's for sure. So far, it's alright. We'll show different. So far, it's alright. I don't like some of the controls. It's a little glitchy. There's tearing here and there. But the first mission kept me on the edge of my seat, so that's good.
Welcome to Hotari Prime.
And now that Spock's
The
there...
honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people,
Camera's a little weird, too.
but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate
20
return
years?
of all mining operations
Haven't had
to
mine that
Lydian
long,
control, as it has been for centuries and will be for
I
centuries
get it now.
more.
I remember
That has
Angel,
always
yeah.
been our
That's cool.
understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war.
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced.
I don't like their fingers. Fingers
His
are
point is well taken.
It's like
What is the
sausages.
Federation's interest in this matter? Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is
look
the
around.
peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
For now.
I get the sense
38.
she's cut from the same cloth as Galvin.
Younger than me.
I thought they wanted us here.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no.
We're getting
My
in trouble.
And what about the Kobliad?
Enjoy,
She can
man.
speak
Step
for
back and
herself,
enjoy.
can't she? Then let her.
Oh boy. Here we go. I got to pick the right diplomatic things to say.
Now then.
This ought to be good.
What is your name?
Commander Jara Rydek, Your Majesty.
Being a Kobliad, you would know better than anyone. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians. Their injustice towards the Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable. Not unlike how
See
we
if
have
my
been
diplomatic
treated
skills are any
by
good.
the Elidians.
As much
I
as
choose
they'd
the
have
right
you believe
options.
they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Elidians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet!
Silence!
If after all the Kobliad suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it? Or would you negotiate a peace?
Oh my God. We seek peace.
There is no remedy for what the Kobliad suffered. And I fear who we might have become in pursuit of it. There is no justice if the oppressed become the oppressor. So I would willingly accept a peaceful resolution if it were offered. That is the real opportunity.
Spock like that.
Perhaps, Commander Rydek. Perhaps. Unfortunately, that was not the case, was it?
No, it was not.
Peace is often elusive to those who need it most.
This
The
alien's
Federation
voice
is the most powerful, most advanced
amazing.
alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace. So why are you really here? I want the truth, not your Federation rhetoric.
It's possible the Federation has an interest in both peace and securing a steady source of dilithium. One does not preclude or prevent the other.
That wasn't good.
That's just my personal opinion.
Given the Federation has done business with the Elidians for decades, I would agree. It's entirely possible, if not highly likely.
What they haven't said, but
They didn't like
is
that.
a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not
Shit.
and will no longer exist without Elidian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology.
Yeah, they definitely
We've
are.
let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries. Don't tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines?
Why would you
on
ask
town?
me that?
Who should the Federation recognize?
Oh my God.
The Hotari or the Elidians? Can only be one or the other, not both.
If I have to choose only one, then it would have to be the Hotari.
Well said. How could the just and wise Federation
We've made
make any other
some
choice?
enemies today.
This is an outrage. The Federation has lost all credibility.
The mines are ours. Lydia will not be deterred. We will take back our mines by any means necessary.
Then you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
I suppose there is some sense to that.
So was I supposed to pick, like, we only seek peace? Because that's not completely truthful. Whether they liked it or not.
I hope we meet again, Jara.
I'm going to get some kind of, like, bullshit from this. I already know. At least she approved of me, which is, I guess, okay. I mean, what was I supposed to do? Lie?
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war.
Yeah, definitely
What
a
happened
second
in those
run through
mines?
would be good. But, I mean, whatever. I mean, think about it, though. Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. So we already know that we're there to bring about peace, but even Spock had said that the dilithium, that we've been getting dilithium from them for years. So why would we want to endanger that? So yes, we come with peace in mind, but we also want to secure what we need from it as well. It's just that was a no-win answer there, but it definitely took a different turn. And if they disapprove, I don't care, because that's the truth. I don't know if I want to talk to them yet. Who's this? Can I talk to you? Oh, can I look out here?
Such rough terrain. No wonder the Hotari are so tough.
That's it? Okay. I guess we can talk to this guy first, because I think this is the guy that was getting ready to square off with the one dude.
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari. I knew the Federation would see through the Elydians' baseless claims and protect the interests of my people.
To be clear, I'm not on either side of this conflict. Our only interest is peace.
I will keep that in mind.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Elydians.
Not seized. Reclaimed. And restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive. Before the Elydians could even realize their worst nightmare was upon them.
Did you have help from someone else?
Hotari stands alone against the Elydian forces. We don't need help from anyone.
Understood.
They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship. Ready to contend with anything the Elydians might have in store. Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
No need to worry. Even in a worst-case scenario, the fleet is always within reach.
But it would probably take them quite some time to get here.
Maybe. Or we might have other ships in the sector.
Of course.
Of course.
Sidron.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
So, this game also has something I really like that I haven't really encountered since Fallout New Vegas. What you say and do matters in the storyline, and I love that. I absolutely love that. Oh boy. This ought to be good.
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me. Without Lydian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. But clearly, you weren't aware.
We are and will remain completely neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution to this conflict.
As is ours. Of course, the question is,
He
at
is
what
so
price?
crazy looking.
A Major Salit Arminta, Special Attaché, Lydian Armed Forces.
Incredible.
Pleasure to meet you, Commander. I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive, once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least, that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there. But who am I to say otherwise?
Something tells me there's more to the story. So what really happened?
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they said.
You said the Hotari were primitive.
Well, they are.
Except for the part about weaponizing ion storms.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Ryder.
Commander, if I could have a quick word with you.
Of course.
Can I have a word?
I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people.
That's more than words.
I'm afraid of what might happen without your help.
If anyone deserves thanks, it's Ambassador Spock. No one is more invested in negotiating a peaceful settlement to this conflict than he is.
I'm so glad. We need his help before the situation escalates further than it already has. It's been very trying. I saw you speaking with the Elydian. I'm sure they're painting themselves as the victims.
The Elydians are under the impression the Hotari are somehow the cause of the ion storm.
Which I'm sure they attribute to our lack of experience or sheer inferiority. But we are as much the victims of this horrific storm as they are. For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
I get the sense you don't exactly trust them.
They're miners, not diplomats. I don't trust their instincts, which are leading us to war. My fear has been that the Elydians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them. But it has no teeth. Like they're afraid of what might happen.
Do you think it has something to do with the ion storm? Right now, it's stronger than ever, isn't it?
It's entirely possible. I'm not a scientist, but I do
really
know
want
the
to know what
storm
the
has
storm
knocked
is
out all
about.
kinds of systems. So maybe the Lydians weren't willing to risk their ships, given all the interference. Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security.
They're hiding something.
I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines. I've made inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
What do you think it is?
I've heard rumors it's some sort of ancient artifact, but I haven't seen it myself.
Told you. There's gonna be some kind
How
of.
can we
I'm
know?
sure there's some kind of rift in space. Nice party mask, dude.
I'd better see what's happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Okay. That's kind of ballsy.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
Just gave an alien race your technology. What the hell are you doing? Where's the captain? Where's the captain? Did he go this way? He went this way. I'm gonna have to speed up the camera a bit. No? Where the hell's the captain? Why am I backing up? That's weird. Is it the other way? I guess it's the other way. Yeah, it sounds like they're actually hiding something, and if they did find like an ancient artifact kind of thing, I mean, it's not unheard of, right?
Well, that was a disaster.
Definitely not unheard of.
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Illydians stormed out.
Oh, God.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
They're dead set on war, man. Revenge is high with them. Alright, now we're back up here finding out what the hell happened to the
Gravitational
shuttle.
harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
It is evident that presently, the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
Could be.
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clearer picture of the phenomenon.
Are we gonna actually see
around the ship?
or
I'll
if
prep
it
a
was a
shuttle.
rift or not. Oh God. The scientific method. So that's the next chapter here, it sounds like. So we didn't get much from our trip down there, except for more talks of war, it sounds like.
I'm setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Okay, so fly, forward, backward, turn. Okay. Nope. Next storm, the path, hazardous. Okay. First screen, shuttle. Okay. Okay. This ought to be fun. Oh my.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Thank you, Mr. Chovak. We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
Nah, Lieutenant Commander Chovak's not so bad. You know, once you get used to him. And, I've learned a lot working on
shit.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to work harder to be a political animal like you. This new first officer coming aboard.
Can I go through it? No, they're going to turn me away from it. No, I can go through it. Should be able to go through it.
This is far enough. Transporting the first probe into position. Westbrook here. The first probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Problem?
Don't get me wrong. Things are definitely trending up with Commander Rydek. She's put my ideas into action. And she listened to me when your life was on the line out on the hull.
That sounds like a good thing.
It is. But I'm still trying to figure out if she's right for the job.
Why are you
She didn't
worried
go through
about
what the
that?
rest of us did. Still got chosen to be #1. Can't tell if she was actually siding with me.
Well, like it or not, she's the boss. You gotta respect that.
Right. That's just what a good political animal should say. I'll probably be working for you one day, too.
Test is running. Warp field
Jeez.
collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there.
Told you. I knew it. It's Star Trek. Of course it is.
With 2 points of data, the
But
Resolute and the
don't
probe,
know for sure yet.
we've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there.
Okay. Well, I need to... How am
Listen,
I getting past this?
I'm going to give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. Don't get so
Up and
focused
over,
on
maybe?
what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before
Up and over.
Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer. What a load of crap. I mean, if he'd said that about Chovak, sure.
Well, if you're asking, I think you're a people person. After all, here we are. Me, an enlisted officer. You, one of the senior staff. Talking like old buddies.
I should send Solano to talk to you.
Bring him on.
I'm sure you can handle him. You've got potential. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work. Who
Can I
knows?
go a little faster?
Solid jack of all departments like you could be
Just
commander-in-chief
go a
of
little
Starfleet
faster.
one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go in the enlisted ranks, too. Of course, if you get an officer's commission, they'll put you on another ship.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy where I am.
You must be a glutton for punishment. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has been known to take decades to warm up to people.
There we go.
This is close enough. Stop
Slow
the
work,
engines.
boys. Slow work.
Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1. On.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
But what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Otari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually.
Oh crap. Are we actually gonna be... Wait. What am I supposed to be doing here? Wait a minute. So, what am I supposed to be doing? Kai, did you encounter this part? Or is it glitching again? Yeah, I did that. Maybe it's glitching. Oh, if it's glitching, we're screwed.
We got something.
There we go.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more.
I see. We're just looking for anything that might be... I thought we had to reroute to like different planet or something. I'm like, wait a minute, there's one. Is there one down here? No. Is there one up here? There's another one.
Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
We're under attack and we didn't even know it. We need to stop them. Unplug whatever it is they're hitting us with.
Now, look here. These are current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations. They line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger.
Yeah. Looks that way.
Presently, we don't have an explanation for how they're doing this. One thing is clear. This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out. A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
And here I thought the Illidians would be the problem. Coming to peace talks in a warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
For all their posturing, every indication is that the Illidians are afraid of the Hotari. They didn't bring their warship as a threat. They brought it because they're scared.
From everything we witnessed, I would say that is highly likely.
But what are they afraid of?
Tylus, the Hotari representative,
Whatever
said she
that
thought they
shit
found
is.
something in the mines.
Yeah.
Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
Out of all of them, she's the one who seemed to genuinely appreciate that the Federation was involved. She believes in us, and I think we can believe in her.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
Sidron was very curious when we spoke outside the Queen's chamber. He wanted to know all about us, our ship, the Federation. He wasn't giving any answers. He was looking for them.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure you didn't tell him too much. I don't think the Illidians know what's really down on that moon either.
But you
Major
gave a
Armentis said the
tricorder
revolt
to the other
defied explanation.
side.
That the Hotari miners somehow harness the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm?
Doing that is beyond even our capability.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
The Illidians and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Commander Rydek, sorry to interrupt. We've received an urgent call from Hotari. The Queen's
Hey, it's our
advisor,
scam.
Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Galvin and Sidron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
I'm not supposed to leave my post.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
I found something. I'm sending you a scan.
The hell is that?
Got it. Tylus, if we needed to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but I have to
You're gonna get caught with that freaking thing in your hand.
Tylus.
Can we reconnect?
Sorry, Captain. We've lost all contact.
We can only hope she escaped without harm.
It was hard to tell.
We have to help her. Send another shuttle.
We're not
or maybe...
doing anything yet. Not until we know more. Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
He liked the fact that I wanted to help her.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be of ancient origin, but the markings are unfamiliar.
We can run a full analysis when we get back to the Resolute. But if this came from the mines, then it might be the key to how they got the upper hand against the Illidians.
Then we have to go into the mines.
The Federation would not allow that. We were, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation. However, we could demonstrate that the Hotari have acted in bad faith. which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification.
Of course, Spock's going to find a way.
But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action. Otherwise, it could put us in a difficult position.
Whatever this artifact is may be proof enough. At least to satisfy the Federation.
Especially if we can show the Hotari are controlling the warp disruption.
Exactly.
And targeting the Resolute.
Exactly.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. But a mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not out of the question. And I will handle the Federation.
Of course he will. Who else? Who's going to argue against Spock? I mean, come on.
As I was telling Carter, I want all the data I can get on this warp problem. And the negotiating team's shuttle has been recording data all the way back from Hotari. Even better than our probes. So pull the sensor and engine ISOs from the Melville when it sets down.
Will do.
I'll join you and Chovak down in engineering to run another analysis after the briefing.
I didn't like this warp problem when we thought it was some astronomical anomaly. And I like it a hell of a lot less now that we know someone is doing it to us. How does it work? What do we even do about it?
She angry.
What do you say we pull these chips and find out?
Took some damage on the way. That ionic interference scored the hull plating. Might be some micro welds. Let's try pulling together.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
And that's where we're going to stop. I know. We want to see what happened next. You will. We're going to revisit this on next Sunday. We're going to continue with it because I really, really like it. I think it's very good. Story-wise, keeps you kind of interested, keeps you on the edge of your seat. But we got to stop it here because it's getting really past the time of the stream. And I need to go to bed. But thank you all so much for coming in, for the follows, and for everyone staying in there and watching. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. And tomorrow night, we will be back with the art stream. Got something kind of special I want to do. So, I'll see you then. Until then, have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.